Hey boys and girls, it is Mr. McAndrew, the math coach. Very happy to be with you today. I wanted to start just by going over some of the problems you did yesterday, because I know this was more challenging than the day before that, right? So we did the first couple together. This one, right, did you get that 20 is 4 times as much as 5, right? So you've got 4 times as much. And then you know that this is 20, right? So the only thing that would make sense here, if you think of it as 20 divided into 4 equal parts, is 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So this is 5. So 20 is 4 times as much as 5, and you can see that right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 times larger. So your equation might have been 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Okay, it might have also been 4 times 5 equals 20. On the next page, okay, here are the answers. 28 is 7 times as much as 4. Okay, so you can see that there's 7 of them. We knew it was 28. 28 divided into 7 equal parts gives you 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So your equation could have been 28 divided by 7 equals 4, or 7 groups of 4 equals 28. Okay? Here, the answer is 6, and your equation could have been 24 divided by 4 equals 6, or 4 groups of, say, something equals 24, and it ended up being 6. Okay, because we knew we had 4 groups, and we knew the total was 24. So this is 4 times greater than 6. And then the last one would be 7. So 21 divided by 3 equals 7, or 3 groups of 7 equals 21. Okay, either of those could have worked. All right, so let's get to today. Today, we are going to know the amount of each person, but we have to figure out how many times larger the larger amount is. Okay? So yesterday, right, we knew the larger amount and how many times larger, but not the smaller amount. Now we know both amounts, but not how many times. So let's take a look at the first example. So you should be on day number 3, multiplicative comparison, exclamation point. So it says Seth spent $30 on Pokemon cards at the store. Do you guys like Pokemon cards? Maybe when you were younger, I don't know. His friend Aaron spent $5. Okay, so we already know that Aaron spent $5. Okay, and we know that Seth spent $30. Okay, so he spent more. So from here to here is $30. Okay, how many times as much money did Seth spend than Aaron? Right, so how many times as much money did Seth spend than Aaron? Okay, so he spent $5. Aaron spent $5. So how many times do we have to multiply 5 by to get to 30? So in other words, 5 times what is going to get us to 30? Okay, or you could think of it as 30 divided by 5 equals what? 30 divided into groups of 5. So we don't know how many groups there are going to be, right? So we know this is, let's say that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right, so I got to 30. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it is 6 times larger. So Seth has 6 times as much money as Aaron does, because he has $5 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. So $30 is 6 times larger than 5. That makes sense, right? 5 times 6 equals 30. Okay, so your equation could either be as a division, which is 30 divided into equal groups of 5 gives you 6. Or it could be that you've got 6 groups of 5 equals 30. You weren't sure what that 6 was in the beginning, right? Okay. So if you know your multiplication facts, this gets a lot easier. This is just a visual to help you see, oh, Seth has about, oh yeah, it has 6 times as many. Okay? So let's go to our you try it problem. I'll read it. It says Bob spent about 30 minutes on his skateboard yesterday, and his friend Stan only spent 10 minutes. How many times more minutes did Bob spend on his skateboard than Stan? Okay, so 30 minutes is a pretty good amount. 10 minutes is not much, but it'll help. So we have Stan and Bob, so I always like to put the smaller one on top. So we've got Stan, which we know is 10, that's 10 minutes. And we've got Bob, which is 30 minutes. So we could do it this way. Actually, before I solve it, why don't you take a shot at it, okay? See if you can figure it out. How many times longer did Bob spend on his skateboard than Stan? When you've drawn your model and you have an equation, come back and we'll look at it together, okay? So do that now and then come back. Don't come back until you've done something. All right, so welcome back. So how did you do? So one way to go about this, boys and girls, is you could just say, okay, well, how many times am I going to have to larger, right, is Bob? So I'm going to start with 10. I need to get to 30, right? It's got to be 30. So let's do another one. That gets me to 20. And another one, that gets me to 30. So 1, 2, 3. So from here to here, cross that out, is 30. So 3 times longer he spent, right? 3 times longer. Okay, and so our equation could be, we didn't know, we said how many groups of 10 is going to give us 30. How many times bigger is 30 than 10? Or you could say 30 divided by 10 equals question mark. Okay, but we did figure it out that 30 divided by 10 equals 3, and that 3 times 10 equals 30. Okay, so those are the equations we could use to solve that. All right. Last activity of the day, similar to yesterday, okay? And it looks like this. So it says 42 is how many times greater than 7? Okay, so if we know this is 7, how many times greater is 42 than 7? So in other words, how many 7s do we need to get to 42? If you know your math facts, you probably already know the answer. Okay, but the model will help. So we have to do 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. That's 7, 14, 21. We're not there yet, right? That's 4 times. That gives us 28. 5 times. That gives us 35. We're getting closer. 6 times. That gets us to 42. Okay, so how many times do we do a 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 42 is 6 times greater than 7. So our equation could be 42 equals 6 times 7. It's 6 times greater than 7. Or we could write 42 divided by 7 equals 6. Okay, so both of those work. I kind of like this one because it follows the way we said it, right? 42 is 6 times greater than 7. 42 is equal to 6 times greater than 7. Okay. We'll do one more together, then you're going to finish it, okay? So 12 is how many times greater than 4? Some of you might already know that, right? So if this is 4, how many 4s do we need to get to 12? Well, there's 1 4. There's 2 4s. That gives us 8. And that's 3 4s. So that gives us 12. So we're done. So that's 1, 2, 3 times. So 12 is 3 times greater than 4. Okay, because here's 12 and here's 4. Or you could say 12 divided into groups of 3 equal groups gives you, 12 divided into groups of 4 gives you 3 equal groups. Okay? It's also true that 12 divided by 3 is 4. All right, so there's one problem down here, and there's a few problems on this page. Okay? And tomorrow, I have a fun activity for you, all right? So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.